Hello everyone, I hope you guys had a wonderful day as per usual, and let's get right into the market analysis here. So obviously today we had a bit of a down day in the markets except for the IWM. The IWM was getting a very nice bid, up 1%, and actually the QQQ was down almost an entire 2% today, almost down. Oh sorry, let me just get back here to the daily. Oh yeah, so from the previous close we were almost down 2%. Yeah, so 1.84% we were down today. And then what do you know? The buyer dippers came in and bought it all the way back up. So again, a pretty big down day today too, as well in the Mag 7, the large cap, the Magnificent 7. They were actually down pretty significant amount. Apple was down 95%. Oh, sorry, not 95%, 0.95%, not 95%. And then Google is down 0.96. 1.43 for Microsoft. Meta was 1.48. Tesla was 1.36, and NVDA was almost down an entire 3% today. Again, NVIDIA remains in this short-term downtrend that we have here. So this should be our wave one, and then we should be coming back in wave two afterwards. But again, just remember the wave one can extend lower, but right now we are getting a little bit oversold on the stochastics on the daily. 4 hour as well, and same thing for the 1 hour. But so we might be getting a little bit of a short-term bounce soon. But again, the Qs can continue to sell off as they've been very overbought for quite a bit of time now. So right now Qs should be coming back down. They could have potentially put in a bit of a short-term top, and let's say that this bullish scenario that we have here on the SPY is still playing out. Then we should be coming back down in an ABC pattern, and then after that come back up in a final wave 3. Now the SPY technically has taken out its July high on the the ETF, the S&P 500 ETF Trust, but if we actually take a look at the index, it has not. Right, we got pretty darn close to taking it out, and now today we had a bit of a pause day. We pulled back. I believe it was very light volume day as well. Well, pretty light, yeah, 72 million shares traded. So overall, this pattern here seems almost invalidated since the SPY has crossed the July high and taken out its previous pivot. But if we're going off the index, then it's still valid. So I think the probabilities of this playing out now have been reduced significantly, and we should be focusing more on the bullish pattern, which is also due for a pullback as well. And then it'll turn out to be a buy the dip moment. Okay, taking a look at market cipher, new weekly candles. Let's take a look here on the SPY. So the SPY, we actually have an 11 and a -3 on the dual band strength index. Bit of a slowdown there. The daily time frame again remains very overbought. You're actually crossing back into green money flow now, which is quite bullish, but again remains overbought, due for a pullback. Once that pullback comes, we could have an ABC pattern correction, and then we can continue back towards the upside. Again, the weekly is showing that we should extend higher, and it is, it has increasing green money flow, which is quite bullish. And then the monthly candle, we just printed a new one recently, and that one is looking very bullish as well. So again, we should see an extended B wave, most likely an overshooting B wave coming back down in a C wave after that. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 on wave edge. So wave edge here, nothing new on the weekly, nothing new on the daily as well. No sell signals there. The 4 hour, we actually got quite a bit of selling today at the open, not too surprising, and we saw some big money selling as well. And funny enough, tomorrow is when the quadruple leverage max S&P 500 4 times leverage ETF is going to be released, right? And then funny enough, sometimes when these leverage ETFs come out, it's kind of starts to signal a potential top in the market, as per Logan's post today inside the Discord. Historically, long ETFs mark the tops of markets and short ETFs mark the bottom. So maybe this is a bearish sign for the indices, right? But again, nothing. We'll have to let price action decide that. And right now, the buy the dippers stepped in today and they showed their hand, so the market is technically still bullish. If we're getting on some really smaller time frames, we're still inside this upsloping channel. I don't have it drawn out at the moment, but you guys can probably do that yourselves, because we actually have a lot of stuff to cover. So gold has made a historical all-time high as of last night when the futures opened. Gold gapped up, and we had a huge short squeeze in the overnight. But again, this is overnight market trading, so you didn't have much liquidity to support the rally, and it was basically a giant short squeeze that went up to 2,150, and after that we came back down and we closed the day below $2,075, which is essentially the all-time high. Gold closed actually at $2,029, and now it's just consolidating around that level that it pulled back from. But overall, very very bullish on gold long term and short term. Again, this was a very big break, so we should see a continued move in gold towards 2,500. And again, I know it seems unlikely, but it's gonna start to happen. And then the dollar is trying to get a bit of a bid. It had a nice little rally today. If the dollar can continue, that can put pressure on gold. Maybe in the short term, gold comes back down to 1950 if that's the case. But overall, the dollar it had a pretty big fall. It was due for a bounce, and we did get a bit of a bounce. Now we'll have to see if that bounce has legs. If we take a look at market cipher, you can see that the weekly time frame is showing more upside. Sorry, this is the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame is showing more upside. The weekly is actually cutting into red money flow, which is quite bearish. But the daily was definitely oversold and is getting a nice little bit of a bid now. So we'll have to see if we see continuation. If not, then the dollar can continue rolling over, which will help equities and help gold go higher, right? But equities had a bit of a sell-off today. Now let's move on. We'll take a look at oil. So oil is actually signaling a potential further, drop in this commodity and potentially in the markets as well, as oil is a leading indicator and could signal a potential recession. So oil actually broke this upsloping trend line now and has confirmed a daily candle below it. So gold, not gold. Was I saying gold? I'm talking about oil. So oil, oil has confirmed a daily candle close below this upsloping trend line. So oil should continue down now towards the 65 level. And once we get there, I do expect us to break it and continue lower. But oil right now, it did get a nice little bounce the last couple of weeks ago, and that was essentially our wave 4 retrace, and it ended up finishing up perfectly, and it came back down. So now, if we see more downside, it could extend significantly lower. Okay, so this is our count right now. Nothing has changed. This is it, and it should follow it. So let's take a look at natural gas. So natural gas is in the buy area, but again, it just keeps getting hammered down every single day. We are getting a lot of buy signals right now, but we'll have to try to time it maybe to perfection. You're getting bullish divergence building, so maybe today was the final day that it's going to be, putting in the low. You have 1, 2, 3 touches there on the upsloping trend line. You could draw it yourself. So probably going to finish up pretty soon. After that, we'll get a nice little rally in that gas. So again, weekly time frame, very, very bullish. And same thing for the daily. Actually, the weekly is looking like the MACD is going to cross over. The monthly is looking quite good. The monthly is looking very good. Let me cover some individual names here. So PayPal. Let's take a look at PayPal. So PayPal had a very nice update today. And again, we've been following PayPal for quite a bit of time. PayPal has actually made a nominal high. It could be finished. It actually could be finished at any moment and start to reverse, because you made a nominal high. Technically, you've made a wave 5 here, but I would like to see maybe it rally into the $61 level, come up into this range just a little bit further. The 1 hour stochastic is already starting to come down. The 4 hour might be finishing up soon, and the daily. Well, the daily is gonna take some time, but again, that's just the way it goes. But I don't know if PayPal has much more juice left. It is definitely on a larger time frame, very very oversold. It should be finishing up in this larger cycle wave 2, but this could take weeks and months, and those kinds of patterns can go lower than we think. I've seen it on multiple charts, but this is the count that I have for you guys right now. And again, I do expect maybe eventually PayPal could go to 46 as low as 39.50. And let's take a look at Roku. Roku should be finished now. It has rallied into our sell area and hit it perfectly, and we've come back down since then. Now Roku should, it should be coming down in a 5-wave move in your A wave. After that, you're gonna get a bounce in a B, and then a final leg down in a C wave. Okay, so that's essentially what they should do. After that, you'll probably find some support around this upsloping trend line, and then we can rally up from there. Let me take a look at Apple. So Apple should be finishing up in a wave 2 here. Again, nothing new. It's coming back down quite nicely, but it could be also be putting bullish consolidation before another leg higher, which is again that reason why the markets could go higher, right? So don't discount this rally that we've gotten. I know it's been very vertical and it kind of looks like a bear market rally, but anything's possible, right? So we want to explore all possibilities at all times. But yeah, overall, nice little down day in the markets, nice little update in the IWM. The IWM, you do have this very large downsloping trend line, so keep an eye on it because it could be a big rejection point for the IWM. So essentially, touch here, touch there, and if you rally into, let me see, we're not even that far away at this point. We're like one more percentage point away. If it rallies 1 more percent, you'll go essentially to 188. Maybe you'll get a wick to 190, right around this previous pivot, right? And then you'll finish up. But after that, I think you should be done. Once that finishes up, you should be done. And it might be coming back between the 1 and the 2. So right around this area right here, you should be finishing up. So if we do a bit of a channel here, let me just do a channel. Do a channel, and then bring it up to the top. And we'll do a line right here. So actually it could be finished now, but I think it might come up to this trend line, this resistance trend line, and it could be finished. All right, so I think that covers it for now. And then on top of that, you have this upsloping trend line from the previous Head and Shoulders, which is quite funny because that's where it hit as well. But yeah, I don't think the IWM has much more upside. It could keep going, right? Obviously, it's very bullish. It's overbought now in the 4 hour, the 1 hour. The daily could have some more upside, but we'll have to see, right? Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys on the next one.